Tell me about this, either one, any of you guys, right? I want to hear a little bit about like a day in the life of training, or a week training, or a month training, like how that goes, because, I think it's important for anybody that's listening that wants to do anything, whether it's, if we got some young people listening that want to get into fighting, or they want to, some other sport or business or whatever, they got to know and understand what goes into it, So any one of you, give me a snapshot of something like that.
Their days are going to be very different. This guy doesn't sleep, and he like gets up at like 4 a.m. and starts training. So his days are going to be very different than his days, but he's more of a night owl. So
I get my mental training in at that time while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, generically speaking, you're going to see 2 to 3 sessions a day, 6 days a week. Ideally with a full rest day, but that's a struggle that I have with some of these guys. They don't want to rest. No, just like put in the work. Like we'll put together like a loose schedule of like things we need to hit. Like out of camp. Rob's out of camp right now. We're waiting to get a bout agreement. So right now I want him wrestling at least 3 times a week, doing his strength and conditioning, and then hit mitts a little bit. We don't need him sparring right now. But for a younger fighter, you need to go in and get a lot more sparring to get that attention and get used to the triggers and build like the confidence that you need. So it's going to be different for everybody. But I think from a high level, these guys can tell you like there's no off season. This isn't the NFL. We don't get the luxury of saying, okay, we're going to peak for August, and then we're going to play 16 games, and then we're going to recover, and then we're going to go on our decline. We're going to take a vacation then, and then we're going to get ready for the next season. We don't have that.
Yeah, you said you have to be ready.
These guys,
right?
Yeah, these guys, at any point, like there's a title fight March 6th. We could get that call to fill in, and Rob could have to fight in a 5-round title fight on March 6th. So he needs to be ready for that just in case that call comes, because you don't want to say no to that.
Right.
That's a life-changing opportunity. So, 24/7, 365, these guys are, always trying to stay at like a steady baseline. I always say like these two, they're always at like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Yeah. And then when we get that bout agreement, they can easily get to an 8 or 9, and then we're at a 10 on fight night. Most of these guys, they don't have the discipline to do that all year round. They're at like a 2 or a 3, and then we get that call, and they're like, oh, crap, hopefully we can get to a 6 or a 7 by fight night.
Right.
They're their own worst enemy, and it's easier said than done, but that's why I say it's a joy to coach guys like this that I don't have to ask them if they're going to be at training. Like if they're going to a wrestling session, he wrestled at Maine this morning. Like I didn't have to ask if he's going to be there. I know he's going to be there.
Right. You don't have to babysit.
There's no babysitting. Like they know the consequences if they don't put in the work. I trust that they're doing it. They trust that I'm doing stuff when I'm not around them, and it's so if you're a young person doing anything, you just imagine you're going to be on camera and everybody's going to post what you're doing every day, and then you're going to have to tell everybody and justify the work you didn't put in.
Yeah.
So